If anybody, how about this? If anybody can't see Nicole's face, leave us a comment so we know. Um, but anyway, to start this off, I watched a reel on Instagram last night that was very much aligned with our interesting kind of differences when it comes to the kitchen. Not specifically cooking, because I feel like for the most part we do fine with that. But anyway, it was the husband and wife. He's getting out stuff to make a bowl of cereal, and every time he walks away from the stuff that he's putting on the counter to make his bowl of cereal, she comes behind him and puts the stuff away in the sink or wherever, something along those lines, and he's literally building it in a 15-second time frame, and every time he turns around she grabs something and moves it. So finally he just stands there and dumps the box of cereal on top of the counter, sloshes the milk on top of it, and licks it off the counter. And then she turns around and says, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Well, I was trying to make myself a bowl of cereal, and you just decided you didn't want any of the stuff here, so now I'm eating it off the counter." It was very obviously staged and supposed to be funny, but I have had experiences in the past that did not go so well because rapport was different. And so I thought it would be funny to discuss some of our differences when it comes to like how we organize our kitchens and how we shop for food and the way we like to cook and stuff like that together. So why
Yeah.
don't you start off with how you prefer to keep a kitchen organized and or tidy?
Okay.
And yeah,
Okay. Yeah. We'll start off with me, and then we can talk about why you're wrong. By the way, everyone, this is all in jest. We like, like to have a little sass with each other, and it's completely playful and none of it's serious.
very
How do I
true.
like to have a kitchen? Well, let's see. I like space. I hate clutter. I absolutely hate clutter. So the more I can simplify, the better. And so I'm not going to have like a cheese knife when I could just use a regular knife, and I don't eat dairy. Like, it's just why.
Hold,
You know? So,
hold on.
oh,
You do eat dairy. You do eat dairy.
how
I have seen
often do
you.
I eat dairy? Not on a
Is
daily basis.
is it a Thursday night? Do
I
they have
eat dairy
a sale?
maybe.
Do they have a sale at the deli on ice cream?
I eat dairy maybe 2 or 3 times a month, and usually it's when I'm out with other people. This is not working. Okay, I give up. I officially give up. Here's what we're doing. It is staying. Nope, nope. The cord is. Hmm. Nope, nope. None of this is working.
Again, anybody that happens to tune in, if for some reason you can't see Nicole's screen, like I can't, please let us know.
Yeah, that's just really weird, and I don't understand it. So here, I'm gonna hope that my battery doesn't run out, and I'm just gonna put this right there. Yay! That kind of works. It's not ideal, but I'll take it. And why did this just change the format so that we're next to each other? I don't know how I did that.
I don't know. It's not how
Okay,
mine
well,
looks
anyway.
anyway. So
And anyways, I don't like clutter. So I will keep things as simple as possible. I'll get only what I need. And when I go food shopping, like I'll have an idea of what I want to cook that week, and then I'll make a list. And first of all, I'm not going to the store. Like it's 2025. I'm a single mom. I'm not wasting that time. My groceries are getting delivered to my doorstep. And I'll get exactly what I need. I rarely throw away any food. Like it's very methodical. Um, and then you have this guy over here who has a pancake batter dispenser. Like
hold on,
a
hold on.
pancake batter. It's called a ladle. You just, it's a ladle. Like you can't dispense pancake. Like really? Really? So he literally he has like a garlic, like a tube. You put garlic in it to crush it, like half of the kitchen tools he has. He's like, yeah. I'm like, what is this? He's like, it's an herb grinder. I'm like, you mean a knife? He's like, there's a garlic crusher. I'm like, you mean a knife? And so when you go in his kitchen, which is what, like half the size of my kitchen, but has like 8 times as many kitchen appliances, and so he bought special shelves to stack all the extra kitchen appliances in his kitchen, like the dining area outside of the kitchen. Is a lot of extra stuff, a lot of extra stuff. All right. So now let's talk about why your way is wrong. Go ahead.
Okay, so first off, the three people who are watching this right now, please let us know if you can actually see Nicole's screen and what's going on there. But I have to correct you on about 73 different items because you are completely misleading our following into
Misleading. All right, let's see.
absolutely that rack that I have. I did not buy when I was in an apartment. That was in my garage in my 4-bedroom house, and it was $160, and it is very useful, okay? It's where I put all the extra stuff.
That you don't need. Got it.
I use it all the time.
Okay, so you put all the extra stuff that you don't need now that you're not living in a 4-bedroom house.
Okay, so let's think about
Okay.
this. Let me actually go through the course of events, and I would appreciate you letting me just, flow with this, so that you can understand how wrong you were in your assumptions about this whole thing. So, what happened was 6 years ago, I became a Pampered Chef consultant because when let's see, how do I politically correctly say this? When my former partner and I separated, I lost most of my kitchen. And so I needed some stuff. And at the time, not knowing exactly how long it was going to be or what my picture was going to look like, wanted to spend more quality time with my kids. So we got a bunch of stuff that we could use to cook and bake and all kinds of stuff together so I could teach them all of these things. Plus, it was a tax write-off and there was a whole bunch of other stuff, but I had tons of room. My kitchen was enormous and I didn't know where I was going to end up afterwards. So, was that your idea of how to start dating? No, had nothing to do with it at the time. I was in no position to be dating, Scott.
Wait, how come
But
you're seeing
anyway,
comments and I'm not?
I don't know. I don't get it either. But anyway,
Oh, there's Scott Kelly. Okay. Okay, it's delayed on my end. Hi, Scott.
but yeah, so I spent like $300 on a buttload of Pampered Chef stuff.
Hmm.
And then because I was a consultant, I got most of it at 50, 60, 70% off. So I got an air fryer because I lost mine. I got blenders and instant pots and all kinds of stuff because I lost them and they were half off. And I had the room for them and it was helpful because I was meal prepping and I have 3 children. How many do you have again?
One.
Okay, so I have 3 times the number of mouths, little
Mm.
mouths. And so my process is I generally speaking have to cook much more food when it's not just me. So it was necessary to have the help in the kitchen to be able to get it done like quicker and more efficiently. So this was not stuff that I got when I was in my 1-bedroom or now 2-bedroom apartment. I've had this stuff for years. And
Mm.
I have used most of it with my kids to teach them how to do things like make cupcakes, which is what that dispenser is actually for. It's not a pancake dispenser, it is a cupcake batter mixer. Okay. So, and technically, that's not even what Pampered Chef calls it, but that's beside the point.
Hmm.
So, almost all of it is dishwasher safe. So, as soon as I use it, what do? I rinse it out, I toss it in the dishwasher, and then I'm done. I don't have clutter. It's
Mm.
very, very easy. I don't even have a bowl to mix the pancake stuff in. It mixes in the thing. So then I rinse it out and I put it in the sink or in the dishwasher. when I'm done.
So I could see your line of thinking there. And just to present another
Yes,
point
Allison, it does.
just to present another point of view, who baked the vanilla chewy cookies from scratch last time you guys were visiting? By himself?
Eric did,
And
and
I
your point would be
didn't need a pancake batter dispenser to teach him how to do so.
you didn't need a
Hello.
pancake batter dispenser to teach him how to make cookies. No, that would be very odd. I think the
But
consistency of his
I
cookies would
didn't
be
need
off.
I didn't need any fancy appliances. We have an oven, we have a cookie sheet, we had electric beat. That's it. It was super simple. Some measuring cups.
Tax
It was super
write off,
simple,
tax write off, tax write
which
off.
is not a tax credit, so you still paid for it.
Hello, guys. I am
I
the one
did,
who
but I did
makes
not.
vanilla chewy cookies from scratch.
Yeah,
But
and
I
Allison's
did
a tire.
not pay
Hi,
retail for
Allison.
it.
Hmm.
Hi,
Yes, you didn't
Allison.
pay full price. I would pay to get rid of that clutter in my kitchen.
Can I go now?
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
I didn't make you come here anyway.
I just wanted to say hi.
I know, I know. Eric likes to participate.
He does, and so at the time, I was in a phase where what I was looking to do was fill my kitchen back up and spend quality time with my kids. And obviously, now that we have done our little bickering part back and forth, you obviously know that I much more accept the idea that I way overspent on a bunch of these things, that I don't use them as often as I hoped or that I wanted to. However, some of them I will be keeping because they are wonderful things, and some of them I've found have not actually been as helpful or valuable as I expected them to be or thought they would be when I bought them. But I do have a lot. Oh God, I have a whole album of pictures of the kids cooking with me with stuff, making pancakes or brownies or like whatever. So I've got memories from all of that stuff. It will not be coming, all of it at least, will not be coming to whatever home we end up in, but for the record.
Good. Eric, Allison wants you to share your vanilla chewy cookies recipe. I'll put it
Hi,
in the comments after
David.
this. How come my comments are delayed? I don't see David.
David isn't in there. It just showed that he joined. I saw a little pop up on it.
Oh,
High,
okay, cool. Hi,
high
David.
school friend of mine.
All right.
But
You
anyway,
show Eric
so
wants to show his little recipe, and you don't have to say it for now. We'll just go like this.
Should I please say it?
So we're having a different conversation. What I'm gonna do is afterwards, I'm gonna take a picture of this and put it in the comments for anyone who
Should I
wants to
just
recipe.
say it real quick in case?
No, we're gonna continue our conversation and then put it in the comments. Maybe we could do another live where you teach people how to make vanilla chewy cookies.
10 minutes,
All right.
not 1 hour.
So yeah, so I think the point of this is that we can have very different views and preferences on it, and we're eventually going to share a kitchen, and we're going to have to come to like some middle ground. And so I'm going to have to deal with, some appliances that I think are completely useless, and we're going to have to, figure out how to declutter the kitchen. Maybe some of them go in the garage, or we get appliances that do multiple things, or we'll figure it out. But in any case, this will not be something we actually fight about, because that would be ridiculous.
yes. And the key to this, or what I really like, I've responded to the Instagram reel that I had and was like, will you just okay. First off, let me reframe this again. I understand that this was a completely staged Instagram reel that they probably have the same kind of relationship that we do in the kitchen, but the way they were trying to present it was such that it was just this ridiculous situation. And some people probably do actually have some extreme differences in how they do things and just don't have the dynamic like we do, or maybe, I don't know, they're super stressed out about stuff or whatever. I've had those experiences in the past where it actually turned into an argument and not just
Mhm.
sassy bicker fest. So
But is it ever really about that thing, or is that like the manifestation of, disrespect and unheard needs and requests and stuff that have gone on for a long time, and that's just like the symbol of the rest of it.
Oh, yeah, no, totally. It's like the conversation we had before about how, like there's usually four, five, six other things going on if you're having, let's say, specific issues with your romantic connection in the bedroom, stuff along those lines. There's probably lots of other things that are accumulating to cause what that, what the cause is, the end result or the manifestation of those behaviors when you're struggling with respect or when you're struggling with feeling heard or like you're not getting enough quality time, you get on edge and the nervous system starts to build up and you get more stress and anxiety and everything else. And then before you know it, a spoon on a counter that was left there 3 seconds ago is causing an argument or a fight or a whatever this
Yeah.
Instagram reel was trying to talk about. And the key is find a way to center yourself and communicate what is going on so that it doesn't end up being this blow up fight over a spoon or a bowl on the counter. Like, he literally just put the spoon down 3 seconds prior. Just because a spoon is on the counter doesn't mean that, like, you see the spoon, hey, honey, what's your plan with this spoon? Or can I throw it in the dishwasher? No, I'm making a bowl of cereal. How hard was that? Oh my God, it took 12 seconds.
Yeah, and that was the humor behind it. It's grossly exaggerated.
Yeah.
My parents, when they were a newly married couple, had a famous, legendary toothpaste fight because, my mom would just
Hi,
squeeze the
Shannon.
toothpaste. Hey, Shannon. My mom would just squeeze the toothpaste, whereas my dad would meticulously squeeze only from the end and then progressively get closer to the opening of the toothpaste. And this was a big fight. My parents got married at 18. So I mean, let's give them some credit. Like, I had much stupider fights with my boyfriend when I was 18. I had zero relationship skills when I was 18. My parents have been together since they were 15 and are still like the cutest, most happily married couple. They still act like high school sweethearts. It's adorable. So, um, clearly you don't have to be perfect all the time to have a beautiful, beautiful relationship. And you can learn and grow together, which I think is something that isn't talked about. It's like, I have to heal and be perfect and be rid of all my toxic traits and all of my flaws and everything and perfectly grown. And then maybe I can get into a good relationship. That is completely not true. As someone who grew up in like surrounded by, healthy, long lasted, decades long marriages, I can tell you that's not true. Healthy, beautiful marriages are made up of imperfect humans who are devoted to each other and who just decide they're going to make it work, and they learn through the conflicts and the crap they go through over the years. um, but yeah, so the kitchen, I mean, there is going to be some compromising when we move into the space, and this is something we've talked about because the way we live in our spaces is very different. And the way Casey lives in his space is stressful for me, and if he were to live the way I like to live, that would probably be pretty stressful for you, I'm guessing. If kind
I
of
mean,
like caging you in and annoying, because like like in the kitchen. So for example, like when you do, it'll be like if you do stuff, you just like take the stuff out, you use it, and then you just like leave it there. Whereas I'm the type, I take the stuff, I use it, and then I put it away. I'm the type to clean as I go, and then at the end there's not that much left. And so I feel like for you, as things you use are just, they tend to be out, and it's like those little things that create clutter. um like when that kind of clutter, like, that's stressful to me. And so when we live together, it's going to be something that we're going to have to work through and figure out how we're going to make the space feel peaceful for me without it being annoying, and you know like your mom is on your ass for you. Like, like, it has to feel good and comfortable for both of us. And I'm sure that we're going to get used to whatever groove we get into, and then we're both probably going to adopt a little bit of each other's habits over time. I'm sure I could point to ways I adopted other, my ex's habits in my marriage. I'm sure you can too. Um, but yeah, I think no, not at all.
I don't think that, at least not in the kitchen, like wise and stuff. I wouldn't say that I did.
Mm.
Other things maybe, but not specifically kitchen. But going back to it, let's be clear about at least a couple of things. I don't know how many times I've gone behind you and put away dishes,
Well, we both chip in and help each other.
but I think that there's a little bit more of a balanced amount of cleaning up that each of us do than you alluded to earlier, just to be
Oh,
fair.
no, sorry. Yeah, okay. You're right. I'm not alluding to the fact that you don't clean up after yourself. It's just that we approach it differently. Right? So like if you cook a meal, like the herbs or like a lot of the stuff you use would stay out, not because you're not cleaning up, but because like you're probably going to use it again soon, or it's just not a big deal.
You have a
It's not
comment?
like, hey, hey Nathan, I'm good. How are you? Um, yeah, it's not that you don't clean up, it's just that the way we approach it, whereas I, immediately, as much as I can, put everything away. I'll like as soon as I'm done chopping stuff, I'll stir stuff on the stove, clean off the counters, stuff like that. We go about it differently, whereas you're more like batch cleaning, right? So you'll do everything, and then at a single time, at another point, you'll go and clean everything. At least that's what I've seen. So it's not a big deal. None of this is anything to fight over.
Yeah, I think that the bigger piece is that I decide when I'm actually completely done with something later than you do. Like I don't know where that line comes up, but I feel like just based on the way you're describing things, it seems to be later. Like I will still use a spatula all the way up until the end of cooking, whereas you might just stab something with a fork to pick it up, and I'm going to use the spatula instead. It's just little quirky, silly things
Yeah.
like that. But I think it's funny that we sass each other as much as we do. Overall, that's the bigger piece to it.
Yeah, yeah, sass is fun. I can't help it if you're wrong all the time.
I'm not wrong all the time.
That was a weak comeback. Is that the best you've got?
I didn't need a strong one there. You're like 5'2".
I'm like 5'3.5". Who the first time you host Thanksgiving for the family ought to be a good time in the kitchen. For New Orleans covering Super Bowl week. Awesome. That's great. Yeah, yeah, I think it'll be fun to host together. We make a good team in the kitchen.
We do. We definitely, I mean, I think the bigger like takeaway from all of it is how significantly focused on like health and nutrition both of us are. So we look for ways that we can be creative because with your I didn't think I was necessarily going to find anybody who had a more restrictive diet than I did when we met because I was on keto when that happened. And then I found you, and I'm like, you can't even eat potatoes or tomatoes or peppers or citrus, dairy, um,
Not by
anything,
choice.
food. Any food is bad for you. Like it
Yeah, I'm
just
just
throws.
allergic to food. I'm allergic to food. No, definitely not by choice. And we fixed your keto problem.
I mean, I don't think it was ever a problem.
Hmm.
I think that it was very effective for me to learn multiple things.
Hmm.
And I will admit that I undervalued certain things like fresh vegetables and berries. Those are probably two of the bigger things that, oh, and lentils. I hadn't ever had lentils cooked a way that I could eat them until you made them. And now it's at least every other week probably that I make a big batch of lentils or boar and, you know, I'm meal prepping my whole week or two on something like that. But yeah,
Yeah. Well, also because you were working out and your results stalled, so that's what
well,
got you. It helped you get out of a plateau and create
Yeah,
that
I mean, I
awesome
dropped
thirst trap
weight and
photo.
I decided that I was done dropping weight when I hit like 162.
Mhm.
And then that it was sort of time to kind of assess, assess everything. And I happened to fall for a person who has a background in nutrition, so that was really helpful.
Convenient.
Any final thoughts?
Hmm. I think it's so important not to sweat the small stuff. And I say that fully aware that it's much easier to say before you merge families and move in together. And so right now it's very easy not to sweat the small stuff. And when we're going through that phase, it will be a lot more challenging to stick to that value of really focusing on what matters. Um, but I'm determined to do it, and we won't be perfect, but I think that with healthy attitudes and practices, it'll be a really rewarding process to combine kitchens and to help you see the error of your ways.
Got we don't have a defined date or anything. It's a dream and a plan at this point. We've got a lot of things that are starting to come together, but nothing specific in concrete yet.
Mhm.
So
Well, the beach house will be a nice what's the word I'm looking for? Like trial run. We rented a beach house for this summer's retreat over here in the Rockaways. So we're gonna have to manage a house together with a whole bunch of people in it.
yes, indeed, it'll be fun.
Hmm.
Um, I look forward to that. It's 3 stories, right?
Yeah.
Plus it's
Thank you,
got like the
Scott.
exercise room.
Always appreciate your support, Scott. Yeah, 3 stories, the pool. We're gonna have a yoga teacher come and do mid-morning yoga with everyone in the yard. And we're having a massage therapist and an acupuncturist come and give treatments at the house. Plenty of free beach time and oh, the kitchen. The kitchen.
Mm.
What a kitchen it is. And that spa tub in the bathroom. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be a really great opportunity to settle into, like, it's a really big space, and like have the room. I mean, you have a pretty nice sized kitchen, but
Mm.
I think that one's still significantly bigger. Although I may have to like duct tape you to the ceiling to keep you from cleaning up stuff faster than I'm ready for you to clean them up. But things.
My kitchen is perfect for, me and Eric. That is like a big family sized
Oh
kitchen.
yeah, no, that thing is huge. The place sleeps 8, so it's
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, and we're not gonna be we're gonna be sleeping here. I live a couple blocks away, so we'll be in my apartment. Everyone, else will be at the beach house or overflow. It will be at the hotel, which is in between my apartment and the beach house. It's gonna be so much fun. I'm looking forward to that.
Indeed. So
Mm-hmm.
hopefully some people found some value in our sassiness. And remember to
Hey
hopefully
sis.
not sweat the small stuff and communicate as as good as you can. Take the time to calm down and release whatever tensions and stuff like that you have. Remember that you love each other. There's a reason that you're in a
Yeah,
relationship.
Vivian, can you back
Show
me
them.
up that Casey is wrong about the kitchen? Just he's obviously wrong. Can you help me out, sis? He's obviously wrong
I,
about the
I
kitchen.
don't know who this is, but I feel like I'm being gaslit
Vivian,
right now.
my sister-in-law.
Oh, yeah. I would really appreciate if you didn't gaslight me right now.
Mm. Right. Well,
Uh,
it's always great chatting with you here and having these fun conversations. And thank you to all of you who popped in and joined the conversation. If you have funny anecdotes from your own relationship or past relationships, or any comments or questions to add, feel free to put them in the comments. We keep an eye on them afterwards. And we will be back in 2 weeks. Maybe
yeah.
next week. You're
Well,
because you're
we
gonna
could
be here
probably do it.
tomorrow.
Yeah, we're gonna be in person next week, so I think we could do lives kind of almost whenever we want. But
How
for the
the
record,
hell
I
do
just
I
wanted to be
weigh in?
clear.
LOL, I just caught the ending of this. Loyalty, just back me up on this. He's wrong about the kitchen. That's it. That's all you have to say.
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. So
Whose side are
off,
you on?
first off, I want to make it clear that there was no gaslighting involved, and, and I'm not wrong about the kitchen. We live very different lives. I have 3 boys, one of which is growing faster than holy. He almost wears men's pants, and he's 12.
Mm,
But
jeez.
um,
Hi,
yeah,
Annie.
and yes, so it'll definitely be interesting to get into the um, the swing of things because I think you've already recognized you're going to have a far larger culture shock than I am because when we're together and we have to cook for that many people, it's a big difference. It's not that much of a shift for me. 2 extra mouths is not as big as 4 extra mouths that you have to like appreciate. Like you don't even have a pot big enough to handle all the stuff that we have to cook.
I have one giant pot. Will be getting more giant pots for sure.
The last time we had to
And
cook
a
sauce, though,
giant
it didn't even
wok,
fit.
a giant wok. We'll need a giant wok to stir fry stuff. Yeah, no, it's definitely going to be a big adjustment. For big families, what I suggest is instead of trying to cook every day, cook multiple days at once. And the way you make that possible is prep one day, cook one day, clean the next day. And then you can make enough to last for a while, or you focus on one part of the meal. So, like meat this day, rice this day, vegetables that day. Um, and it makes it a lot easier. And yeah, right now, the biggest complication with me and Eric is that my diet's so restrictive and he's such a picky eater that I'm working from home and I absolutely love this about working from home. So this isn't a complaint so much, but I'm usually cooking separate meals for us throughout the day. So like I cook him breakfast and I cook myself a meal and then I cook him a separate meal. And so I'm usually cooking, yeah, 2 to 3 times every day at least.
Yeah, whereas my process usually is cook a whole bunch, like, 2 pounds of pasta and whatever, sauce or whatever's going with it, and cook all what we're going to need mostly for the weekend. Send David to school with one lunch, and I eat one, and then maybe we have leftovers another night. But we try not to get too caught up in, you know, David's pretty picky when it comes to food, as you well know. But in general, like just, trying to balance it out, make sure everybody's getting some of what they would like to have every weekend. But my focus isn't so much on planning out the meals as much as it is being able to afford the food because uh,
Oh
the extra
God,
food
our
that I
grocery bill. It's gonna
know
be.
it yeah it's gonna be
Let's
it's gonna
take
be a
out
mortgage payment.
another mortgage to buy groceries. Oh my God, with 4 teenage boys at the same time.
Yep, exactly. But I don't want to hold you too much past what we planned on
Yeah,
going for
I gotta
in
get this
this.
kid to
So
bed.
yeah, he needs to get to bed, and we got some other stuff to manage for the rest of the night, and then I will be on a plane in the morning. Yay!
Yeah. Can't wait to see you.
Likewise.
Okay, well,
Good night, everybody. Thanks
good
for joining
night.
us.